Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fraser Field for Catholic Central League baseball action. St. Mary's, the Spartans, taking on Arlington Catholic. Arlington Catholic trying to go over 500. They're 8-8. St. Mary's looking for their 10th win, which will officially, they've got a few games left, but to add to it, but they can officially get into the state tournament with a win today. They're 9-6. They've won 5 in a row. They were 4-6. And they haven't lost since. We've got action going on at Manning Field. I think it's, I don't know if it's a lacrosse game or a lacrosse practice. I think it's probably a game. This game is starting a little bit late. Arlington Catholic, everybody's had problems with buses during the season. Football, soccer, the Greater Boston League had trouble even coming from Revere because they had trouble getting buses and getting drivers. It's been a major problem. And just the other night, the game after this tonight is Classical against Masconomet. They were supposed to play that game. This being Thursday, they were supposed to play that game Tuesday. And they couldn't play it because Masco couldn't get here. They couldn't get a bus or a driver. So they'll play it tonight. And Arlington Catholic had a problem with the bus there. They finally got it. And the Catholic League is usually best. They let the kids out early to get it on time. Chop, one pitch right back to the mound. Josh Doney handles it. Matt Tolan is out. 1-3 on one pitch. Coleman O'Neill, the shortstop, will be the hitter. Josh Doney on the mound. Throwing to Kyle Doney. It's the Doney family. In for a strike. Derek Dana, the long-time coach with he's got a couple of assistants, but his able assistant, Timmy Fowler, they've been together for a long time. They played together at St. Mary's. Derek was the catcher. Timmy was the pitcher. They won a couple of state championships, and they've won a couple of state championships as coaches. Curveball just hung outside. One, two, the count. Hit back to the mound again. Doney takes care of the first two hitters. 2 up, 2 down for Ryan Torello, the pitcher. In for a strike. I got to televise both Doneys when they played in the Gallant tournament, the Lynn All-Star team. This one doesn't go to Doney, it goes to second base. Jaden Driscoll getting the start at second base. Handles it over to Shea Newhall. A quick 1-2-3 inning. Doney helping himself with 2 assists. Arlington Catholic is down in the top of the first. And St. Mary's will have a chance to get on the board first. Tommy Falaska, the third baseman, will lead off. Mike Domeno will play shortstop and bat second. Batting third and playing center field, Tad Giardina. The designated hitter, Chris Marks, will clean up. He's hitting for the catcher, Kyle Doney. The right fielder, Cam McGonigal, will hit number 5. Batting sixth and playing left field, Seth Sullivan. The first baseman, Shane Newhall, will hit number 7. Jaden Driscoll, the second baseman, hits number 8. And bring up the tail end of the batting order. Batting ninth and pitching is Josh Stoney. Ryan Torello, left-hander on the mound for Arlington Catholic. Very nice day. It was a little chilly when we first got here, but the breeze has stopped almost completely. So it's it's in the 60s, early 60s. So not too bad. Last night it was bad, and the night before it was even worse. It was so ice cold. With the wind blowing 80 miles an hour, it was probably down in the 40s. Luckily, both games yesterday only went 5 innings. Mercy rules. Tommy Falaska. I mentioned we have Falaska's all over the place. Tommy has done outstanding on the mound this year and at third base. And we have a Falaska who does the catching for Lynn English. Popped up. And it's going to make it up in the seats. Hit off to the right side again. Hit to third, long throw across the diamond. Nice play by the third baseman, Jack Dyer, throwing Falaska out.
The shortstop, number 27, Michael Mano.
Mike Tomeno, the shortstop. Lefty against lefty here. High and tight, 2-0. Hit on the ground in the right field for a base hit. So the first base hit goes to St. Mary's and Mike Tomeno, also the first base runner.
Center fielder, number 15, Tad Diadina.
I get feeling a little down in the dumps when I look out in right field and I see people sitting on the hill out behind right field, sitting in chairs, watching the game. And I miss Buzzy Barton because that's where he sat. He was a staunch supporter of all the athletes, football, soccer, basketball, baseball. And he sat out on the hill behind the fence in right field so he could have a cigar and park his car and get out quickly. We miss him. He was an outstanding. You don't replace people like Buzzy Barton. They throw it away down the right field line. He's going to keep going, I think. All the way to third. That went down the right field line. Tomeno hustles over to third. So the error puts a run 60 feet away. Tad Giardina has had some big hits and some big RBIs. But St. Mary's got a chance to put St. Mary's on top. That's going to drop for a base hit. In on the fist, he just kind of tapped it into the outfield. He gets another RBI. I've been watching Tad play hockey and play baseball, and brings back memories. I coached his father in CYO basketball, so I'm close to the family. He's a terrific young man. Low for a ball. Chris Marks finishing up a great career at St. Mary's, part of the St. Mary's football team that won the Super Bowl on both ends, offense and defense. Was a receiver. Big contributor on defense. In for a strike. Tad Giardina takes off. The throw is high and away toward the right field side. He slides in with a stolen base. He got a big jump. So another runner in scoring position. This one at second with one out. Fishing wide for a ball. Count evens at 2. Giardina takes off for third. Out at third base. Tad doesn't believe it. Derek Dana doesn't believe it. It was ball 4 for Marks. So the second out is thrown out at third base. Marks walks to first. Cam McGonigal will be the hitter. He's the right fielder. Lined in the right field for a base hit. Around second, heading for third. They wish they kept that runner at second base. He jumped on the first pitch, so trying to steal third cost him a run. First and third for the moment. Let's see what happens if McGonigal goes. The left fielder, Seth Sullivan, is the hitter. So that's a big play by Arlington Catholic, throwing Giardina out at third. Swing and a miss. Chase that high fastball. On the corner for a strike, quickly 0-2. They take off, but they will now go play defense because Sullivan swings and misses for strike 3. So Arlington Catholic got a big break with that runner being thrown out at third. St. Mary's gets a run. They had 3 base hits. They could have had 2 runs, and we might still be having the inning. But at the end of 1, it's St. Mary's 1, Arlington Catholic nothing. Josh Stoney will start his second inning of work. Now he's got a 1-run cushion. He helped himself with 2 assists in the first inning, getting 3 easy ground balls. Now he'll start the second inning leading 1-0. Bob D'Agostino, the catcher, will lead it off for Arlington Catholic. Hits it slowly on the ground. Outstanding play by the shortstop, Domeno.
Right fielder number 1, Mike Lynch.
It went off the third baseman's glove. Looked like it was going to be an error on the third baseman. Domeno came up with the loose ball and rifled it across to Newhall. Outstanding play by Domeno. Mike Lynch, not the News 5 sports announcer, but Mike Lynch, the right fielder for Arlington Catholic. Hit the shot again. And good, strong throw again by Domeno. Gabe Martucci, the second baseman, will be the hitter. In for a strike. Tony is only a sophomore. Derek Day is happy to have him around for a couple more years. Hit way up in the air. They get out of the way for the right fielder, McGonigal. Second baseman, first baseman, they finally get out of the way and let McGonigal. So the first ball hit out of the infield, the first out that's not a ground ball. Another 1, 2, 3 innings, 6 in a row retired by Doney to start this Catholic Central League battle. It's still 1-0 St. Mary's, and they'll have 7, 8, and 9 to start the bottom of the second. I was down around the field. It was breezy. It was cold. And I put my heavy jacket on because I'm going to be here for the night game as well. And I really don't need it because the wind has died down. The flag is barely moving out on the pole. Certainly hope it stays that way. So St. Mary's could have had a little bigger inning. They had the second out thrown out of third, trying to steal third, and then McGonigal rips a single.
Leading off St. Mary's in the bottom of the second. First baseman number 24, Shea Newhall.
Shea Newhall, the first baseman, will be the hitter as we start the second inning. We had 2 big wins for the Lynn teams, classical and English last night, but they were 2 tough games to watch by the spectators, especially since it was so cold. 2 mercy rules. Classical 16-1, English 15-0. They both went 4 innings. Up and away for a ball. Newhall does everything lefty. Hit, throw. Saw his life passing for him that time. He had to tuck out of the way. That was aimed for his head. Two 0 the count. Up and away, it's 3-0. in for a strike. Took a good look at that one with the count 3-0. Still can be fussy, 3-1. It's got to be a pitch he can handle. Yeah, it's ball forward. It goes to the backstop. Second walk given up by Torello. And this one leads the second inning. Jaden Driscoll, the second baseman, will be the hitter.
Number 18, Jaden Driscoll.
Grandfather Joe was a big contributor. He was big in City Hall. Tries the bunt and fouls it off. His family is deep in the Pine Hill Little League. Bunts it foul again. Some of the people have to make a long trek from over the Manning Field parking lot because the Fraser Field parking lot filled up very quickly. Popped up, short center field, shortstop going back, 8 or 10 steps on the outfield grass. So the first out was a pop up to the shortstop. Josh Stoney, the pitcher, will be the hitter.
For the pitcher, Josh Stoney.
Hit to the first baseman. He's only got one play. He'll make the play himself at first. It's not a sacrifice, but it works the same. It moves Newhall over to second base with 2 outs. So St. Mary's has another runner in scoring position for Tommy Falaska. He bounced out third to first his one trip. Going back to Tony Caniglio days, there was a Skip Velasco who was an outstanding player, great hitter. Scouts came to look at Tony Caniglio and they wind up signing Skippy Velasco. Very good friend of, I know all the Velasquez for a long time. Hit high in the air to right field, drifting over to the line. Making the catch is Mike Lynch. So they get the leadoff walk. Gets as far as second base, and that's it. St. Mary's is down in the second inning. We played 2. It's still 1-0 St. Mary's over Arlington Catholic. 7, 8, and 9 for Arlington Catholic as we start the third inning. Jack Dyer, the third baseman, will be the hitter. Good curveball for a strike. Had a little bite to it. Down and in for a ball. Chop. Driscoll cuts it off. Nice job. If it goes to the shortstop, it'll be a little tougher play for Domino. Driscoll cuts it off. Another infield out. This one 5-3. Chad Harris, the first baseman, will be the hitter.
Number 17, first baseman, Chad Harris.
That curveball drops in again. He gets that over, he's going to be tough. Hit foul back. Actually hit the stanchion and bounced back behind home plate. The 0-2 pitch up and coming. Caldoni set up outside. Got a little too much up and out. Good waste pitch. 1-2 the count. Curveball swings and misses. First strikeout for Doney. Luca Mauricio, the DH. He's hitting for the left fielder, Rob Locken. On the corner for a strike. Into the third inning, Doney has been on top of all the hitters. Hit up the middle. Domeno with another great play. He went way over to second base, picked it, made a strong throw, Newhall with a great stretch. Third play in 2 innings for Domeno, and that was outstanding. Can't do much better than Downey's doing. He's retired the first 9 in the game. One fly to right field, 1 strikeout, all ground balls, and he made 2 of the plays himself. So it's still 1-0. St. Mary's will have 2, 3, and 4. And we talk about great plays by Domeno, and when you do that, that player usually leads off, and that's what's going to happen. Mike Domeno will lead it off, followed by Tad Giardina and Chris Marks as we start the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ryan Torella will start his 3rd inning.
Leading off for St. Mary's in the bottom of the 3rd, the shortstop, number 27, Michael Domeno.
Domeno got a base hit, and he scored the run. That's the difference in the game. And he's made 3 very nice plays at shortstop. Mike Domeno's only a freshman. Hit the second base. They'll get Domeno on the ground ball. 1 up, 1 down in the 3rd. Tad Giardina singled. Stole second, and unfortunately got thrown out trying to steal 3rd because Tamir's got a hit after that, would have got a run. Hit a mile up in the air, running back. Nice play by the catcher. Bob D'Agostino there's a lot of room behind home plate. Just shy of the backstop. He picked it. Very nice play by the catcher. 2 up, 2 down. Chris Marks threw a walk. His one trip. He was walking to first as Giardino was being thrown out at third. In for a strike. That one, that was gone as soon as it left his hand. He forgot to let go of it, and it sailed high, way up and away. D'Agostino had to go way up in the air and way to his right to pick that one. Hit solidly right at the shortstop. O'Neill makes the play. So a 1-2-3 inning.
Still 1-0 St. Mary's.
Torello has retired 6 in a row. We finished 3 here at Frazier Field in this Catholic Central League battle. St. Mary's holding on to that 1-0 lead. Matt Tolan bounced the first pitch of the game. He bounced it right back to Doney. Doney got the first 2 outs in the game were bounces back to Doney. Lefty against lefty here. In for a strike. He ducked away from that curveball and broke in. What a nice pitch by Doney. Had him backing away. I'll throw that pitch again. Cal Doney set up outside, trying to get Tolan to chase, and it went way wide to the backstop. 1-2 the count. Slice past third base foul. We'll do it again at 1-2. Down and away for a ball. Evens the count at 2. Waves at that curveball. Second strikeout for Doney. That was a perfect pitch. Just had him waving at it. Coleman O'Neill was the second hitter, and he hit it back to the mound.
Shortstop, number 19, Coleman O'Neill.
Up and away for a ball. And he hits it back to the mound again. Doney's got his number. Third assist for Doney. Ryan Torello bounced to second base, his one trip.
Batting the pitcher number 3, Ryan Torello.
Here's that curveball. You get that over and they start guessing. They have to guess. It's going to be a fastball. Is it going to be a curveball? Didn't miss by much. Down and away. Thrown away at first base. Driscoll had a hurry. Torello will reach on the error. Trying to make the play quickly. Threw it by Newhall. And Arlington Catholic has a base runner. 11 in a row retired by Doney.
Batting in catch number 6, Bobby D'Agostino.
The catcher, Bob D'Agostino, grounded out short to first. His one trip. St. Mary's playing very shallow in the outfield. In for a strike. Easily back at first with Torello on the throw over. So it is lacrosse going over at Manning Field. It is a game, not a practice. Unfortunately, I don't know whether it's the Lynn team or the St. Mary's team. Again, Torello back easily. Arlington Catholic has brought a few fans right behind their dugout. Not an easy trip. Curveball hangs high. Tough, especially middle of traffic. Some of the fans got here before the team did. The team having bus problems. Hit solidly right to the shortstop. Domeno to Driscoll. So the error doesn't hurt. We're halfway through the ball game. Doney's got 2 strikeouts and 3 assists. So he's been involved in 5 of the 12 outs. St. Mary's will be one of the 4 teams the last weekend of May, the 26th Friday and the 27th Saturday. They'll be here Friday night, and they'll have a doubleheader, and there'll be a doubleheader on Saturday. Starting, I believe, like 11 o'clock. The second annual Dougie Mullins Memorial Tournament. Dougie was an outstanding player, outstanding coach. Guided and helped a lot of young people. And he left us way too soon. Another deep hole left in the city of Lynn that you can't fill when you lose people like that. We recently lost some great people. Joe Correnti, one of the soccer coaches at Glasgow. Of course, Buzzy Barton, city councilor, former boys and girls very successful basketball coach. Dickie Mag, another outstanding athlete and outstanding coach. And Dave Solomini's wife. Dave Solomini and his wife are outstanding citizens in the city of Lynn, and they do so much. The Solomini family is staunch supporters of everybody in the city of Lynn, and those are holes that you just don't fill. You lose great people like that, you don't replace them. Cam McGonigal lined a single in a right field, his one trip. Curveball drops in, 1-1. Down and away for a ball. 2-1 the count. Line shot to right field. He hit it too good. Hit it right at the right fielder. Mike Lynch almost didn't have to move. Hit it a ton. And I've said, you've heard me say many times, you get a good pitch, hit as high as you can, and hope you get lucky. Cameron Goggle had 2 of the 3. He hit it a shot, and he hit it right at the right fielder. On the inside corner for a strike. Swing and a miss. Seth Sullivan struck out swinging his 1 trip. He's the spot in the left fielder. Up and away for a ball. Count's even at 2. Swing and a miss, they'll throw him out at first base. Second strikeout for Torello.
Number 24, Shea Newhall.
Shea Newhall drew a walk. He's the last one to reach base. Led off the second inning. Torello has retired everybody since. In for a strike. He gave up 3 hits and a walk in the first inning, but got helped out when St. Mary's had a runner thrown out trying to steal third. Thought about it, just held up. The pitch was high for a ball. Curveball, he ducked away from that. What a nice pitch. Dropped in for strike 2, 1-2. Hit in the left field coming on. Can't make the play. It bounces for a base hit. So Newhall was the last hitter to reach. Torello retired 8 in a row. And now Newhall breaks up that 8 in a row by getting a base hit. He's on base for the second time. Jaden Driscoll popped to the shortstop in short center field, his 1 trip. Missing wide for a ball. Pitcher Josh Doney on deck. Gets the bunt down, they're going to have to hurry. And they throw it away. They threw it out in right field. It gets by the right fielder. Coming around and scoring is Newhall. A 3-base error gives St. Mary's their second run. Looked like D'Agostino was making a great play, get out, got it, and just airmailed it over the first baseman's head. So Josh Doney can help himself with a runner at third base. Newhall scooting all the way around from first. Driscoll hustling all the way over to third. Hit foul off the catcher. 1-1 the count. Down away for a ball. Down and in for a ball. So St. Mary's got an earned run in the first. They got a gift run here in the fourth after 2 quick outs. Newhall broke up that 8 in a row retired by Torello, and Arlington Catholic airmailed it down the right field line. Doney draws a walk, extends the inning to first and third, and Tommy Falasco will be the hitter.
Tommy Velasco.
Falasco is grounded to third and fly to right, and we're going to get a runner at first base for Doney.
Base running for St. Mary's, number 6, Devin Duvall.
Devin Duvall will run for Doney. So it looked like they were going to get out of the inning rather easily, even giving up the hit. D'Agostino got to Driscoll's bunt very quickly and just airmailed it, and then it went down the right field line, hit the fencing down there, and skipped right by the right fielder, which helped St. Mary's even further. Two over the count. Fishing for ball 3. And they're going to walk him. So they'll load the bases.
Shortstop for 27, Michael DeMano.
DeMano singled and scored the 1 run coming into this inning. Last time up, he bounced out second and first. So he's up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 1 run in has extended St. Mary's lead to 2-0. And DeMano would like to get a base hit and make it even more. In for a strike. Way up and in, almost hit him. DeMano almost took one for the team. Has to duck under that one. Last 2 have come very close to hitting him. In for a strike. And we got Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. St. Mary's leading 2-0. We got deuces all over the place. Hit foul to the Arlington Catholic bench. I think they're the Cougars. So the Cougars against the Spartans. Line shot in the right field for a base hit. Big 2-out hit. They throw it home. DeMano's going to wind up at second. A big 2-out hit by the young freshman. So how big is that error now that would have ended the inning instead?
The center fielder, number 15, Tad Giardino.
Big 2-out lightning for the Spartans. Tad Giardino singled in a run, popped to the catcher who made a great play behind home plate. So 3 runs for the Spartans has pushed that lead considerably. All coming with 2 outs. Up and away for a ball. And they threw the ball home. Velasca hustled to third. DeMeno with the hit was able to go to second base. Solid shot to third. And they throw him out. He hit it right on the nose, but hit it right at the third baseman. So St. Mary's gets a huge break with that error. It extended the inning. A walk, an intentional walk, and then the big 2-out hit by DeMeno gets St. Mary's 2. So they double their pleasure. They're up 4-0 at the end of 4. Mike Lynch, the right fielder, will lead off. He grounded out short to first his 1 trip. So Doney now has a couple more to work with. Hit in the center field. It skips by the center fielder. So a single and an error puts Lynch. That's the first hit off Doney. The error in the outfield puts him at second base.
Second baseman number 13, Gabe Mafucci.
Gabe Matucci, the second baseman, fly to right field. His 1 trip. Waves at that pitch. Waves at the curveball for strike 2. Warm-up action in the Arlington Catholic bullpen. Not really Torello's fault. He's only given up 1 earned run. All 3 runs in that 4th inning were unearned. Curveball drops in. What a nice pitch. Third strikeout for Doney. Doney's got 3 strikeouts and 3 assists. Jack Dyer, the third baseman, is the hitter. Doney was ready, he stepped off, trying to keep the runner at second close. In for a strike. Drops it to the St. Mary's bench. 0-2 the count to the Arlington Catholic third baseman. Diving back at second is Mike Lynch. On the corner. What a pitch by Doney. Back-to-back strikeouts, both called. So he had 2 strikeouts coming in. He gets 2 more, making it 4. Chad Harris, the first baseman, struck out swinging. Waves at the pitch that broke down and in. Nice stop by the other half of the Doney family. Kyle Doney, the catcher. Hit to third. Velasco is going to, they get the rundown. Driscoll will tag him out. Much easier play than throwing it over to first base. So the hit, the error in the outfield, getting him a second doesn't hurt. 2 strikeouts in the inning. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for St. Mary's as we move into the bottom half of the 5th inning. Tyler Nolan is the new pitcher for Arlington Catholic. I don't know what they do with Torello because he's a number 3 hitter. But new pitcher for Arlington Catholic. So Torello goes 4 innings, gives up 5 hits, 4 runs, only 1 of them were earned. He struck out 1. Struck out 2. And walked 2. One of the walks scored. Chris Marks has walked and grounded a short. So they swap on the mound. I don't know if Torello stayed in the game. They don't give us the subs. High for a ball. Jim, you say new pitcher? Huh? New pitcher? Tap to third. Nice play on both ends. They're looking for a call saying the first baseman was off the bag. Dyer, the third baseman, made a great play, got it over to the first baseman, Harris, who made a great stretch. That's a very nice defensive play. And now they're going to discuss it with the plate umpire. The base umpire was closer. He stretched away right field. Now they call him safe. Arlington Catholic, and the fans are screaming. The fans are yelling about how can the plate umpire make the call? The base umpire was on the play. Arlington Catholic coach is coming out to talk to the base umpire. The coach and Marks himself said he was off the bag. Nick Maisano will run. So Nick Masano will run for marks at first base. Here McGough line the single to right and line the shot right at the right fielder. He's 1 for 2, and he can't hit any better either time. So we mentioned Arlington Catholic brought a few fans that were bundled up behind the Arlington Catholic bench, and he got on the umpire for that call. So they reverse it, and it winds up with an error on the third baseman. Swing and a miss. Second lefty pitcher for Arlington Catholic. Diving back at first is high for a ball. Hit in the air is going to go out of play. Just behind the St. Mary's dugout. Lined in the right field. This one's going to bounce in front of the right fielder. Meshana almost took too far a turn. So 3 shots to right field. Gets 2 hits. And we'll have a pinch hitter for Sullivan. Carlos De La Rosa. So 2 on with nobody out. In for a strike. Sullivan has struck out swinging twice. Off the catcher's glove. That's going to move everybody up. It's a pass ball. He had it, and he couldn't hold on to it. So the pass ball moves the runners up to second and third. And Arlington Catholic will bring their infield in. Swing and a miss. So De La Rosa has an opportunity for an RBI or 2. High for a ball. Chase, that pitch was over his head. So the first out is a strikeout. First strikeout for Tyler Nelson, the new pitcher for Arlington Catholic. Shea Newell has walked, singled, and scored. In for a strike. 0-2 quickly. Infield still in for Arlington Catholic. Line to the left center field. That's in the gap. 2 runs easily. Newhall's got a double and 2 RBI. He's on for the 3rd time with his 2nd hit.
Second baseman number 18, Jaden Driscoll.
Machano running for Mark scores. McGonigal right behind him scores. Pitches in for a strike to Jaden Driscoll, who has popped the shot, reached on what was a big error. Kept the 4th inning alive, and St. Mary's put 3 on the board after 2 outs. High and tight for a ball. In for a strike. Slices it to right field, right at the right fielder. Hit it well. Hit it right at the right fielder. Mike Lynch out in right field didn't have to move. 2-way for Josh Doney. Grounded out, and then he drew a big walk. After that big error, he drew a walk that extended the inning, and DeMano was able to hit in the inning and get a single, knocking in 2 runs. And Devin Duval, running for Doney, scores a run. Curveball drops in for a strike. Wide for a ball. In for strike 3. So the damage is done. The controversial error where he was out, but then he was safe at first base. McGonigal got the base hit. The big play, the pitch off the catcher's glove that allowed the runners to go to 2nd and 3rd. And Shane Newhall gets the big double to knock in 2. And Doney has got 2 more to work with. As we move into the top of the 6th, it's now 6-0. St. Mary's over Arlington Catholic. Luca Mauricio, the designated hitter, hitting for the left fielder Larkin, will lead off the 6th inning. Hits it foul to the backstop. So Arlington Catholic has been very gracious guest. Now, Mauricio gets hit by a pitch. 2nd inning in a row, they got the leadoff hitter on. Lynch got the first hit of the game in the inning before. When it was bobbled in the outfield, he wound up at 2nd base, but then he was out on a ground ball to 3rd. He got hooked up between second and third base for the final out of the inning. Popped up. Good effort. Tolan gets the second hit. Doney couldn't get to it. Josh Doney couldn't get to it. Cal Doney tried to throw him out. Didn't miss by much. But they have first and second with nobody out. Cole O'Neill is in a rut with Josh Doney. He's bounced to the pitcher twice.
Go back to shortstop, number 19, Coleman O'Neill.
Hit foul to the backstop. 1-1 the count on the Arlington Catholic shortstop. Way up and away for a ball. He only had two base runners coming into this inning. They get the first two batters reach. Just missed outside. Hit foul out of play. Down that grassy knoll behind first base. Hit foul again. Payoff pitch up and coming again. Chop to third. They probably wish they let it go. There was no play that could be made. They got the bases loaded. A hit batsman and two infield hits. Brings Derek Dana out of the dugout. St. Mary's leading it 6-0. Arlington Catholic only had one hit coming into the inning. They got two in the inning along with a hit batsman, which loads the bases with nobody out. Ryan Torello, I don't know where he's playing. He's not pitching anymore. He's still in the game, but I don't know where they put him. Because they had Tyler Nelson coming in to be the new pitcher.
Number 3, Ryan Torello.
Torello was grounded to second and reached on an error. He was the first base runner for Arlington Catholic back in the fourth inning. In for a strike. So Doney's first time in trouble. Bases loaded, nobody out. Wide for a ball. Waves at that pitch. Waves at that breaking ball. That broke down and away, and he chased it. Five strikeouts for Doney.
Batting the catcher number 6, Bobby D'Agostino.
Bob D'Agostino, the catcher, is grounded to short and grounded to short. The second ground ball was a force out at second base, ending the fourth inning. Hits it foul to the screen. D'Agostino stepped out. Doney stepped off. Now we get back to baseball. Hit in a right field for a base hit. They'll hold the runner at third. D'Agostino gets a base hit and an RBI. Bases are still loaded with one out, but a run in. Mike Lynch, the right fielder, grounded to short, and he got the first hit, leading off the fifth inning. Hit foul back.
Right fielder number 1, Mike Lynch.
The bat went foul on the ball. He swung right through it, and the bat wound about 10 or 15 feet behind home plate. Luckily, it didn't. It went by the catcher and the umpire, thank God, and there was nobody behind there. Driscoll takes the throw at second, but getting back easily was O'Neill. Way wide for a ball. Kyle Doney had to go way up to get that one up and away. Hit foul to the screen. Chop. Nice play by Doney to get the out. That's a tough play. Lefty had to get it, spin, and made a good, strong throw. That's his fourth assist. Lynch gets an RBI. So second and third with two outs. John Engelhardt will run at second base. Martucci is flying to right, called out on strikes. Hit foul off the screen. Three hits and a hit batsman in this inning have got Arlington Catholic on the board. Tried to hold up and couldn't. The pitch was down and in. He swung through it. Calzone kept it close to home plate, so the runner can't go anywhere from third. Missing wide for a ball. Swing and a miss. So he gets 2 more strikeouts in the inning, but they finally get to Doney a little bit. He gives up 3 hits. He hit a batter starting the inning. Arlington Catholic gets on the board with two. 3 base hits. They hit batsman, started the inning, came around to score the first run. D'Agostino got an RBI with a base hit. The other one scored on a bounce to the pitcher by Lynch that got him an RBI. So Arlington Catholic down to their last 3 outs. So I think what happened was that Torello went to play left center field. And Tyler Nelson is the one that's being hit for as he replaced Larkin, I believe the left fielder. Oh, they moved. Actually, Torello went to play left field. Larkin was the one who was being hit for. So the pitcher, Tyler Nelson, is the one that's now being hit for. Tommy Velasquez has grounded a third, fly to right, and walked. In for a strike. Double action in the bullpen for St. Mary's. Hit foul. Doney had breezed, retired the first 11 hitters in the game. An error, followed by an out. Made it 11 out of 12. Or 11 out of 13, excuse me. 12 out of 13. He gave up a leadoff single in the 5th, but got 2 strikeouts and a run down between 2nd and 3rd to get the 3rd out in the 5th. But then I hit batsman and then back-to-back singles after a strikeout, another hit, and an infield ground ball. Got Arlington Catholic 2, got them on the board. So one hit going into the inning. They get 3 in the inning. That one bounced in. On the inside corner for strike 3. Good pitch. Mike Tamano got a big 2-out hit in the 4th inning, knocking in 2 runs. It gave St. Mary's the 4-0 lead. He's played very well at shortstop as well, making 3 outstanding plays. He's got 4 assists, but 3 of them were very nice plays. And the only reason he hit was because Arlington Catholic made a huge error in the inning. It should have been out of the inning. So the first run was earned. The 3 runs in the 4th were unearned. 1 of the runs in the 5th was unearned. So St. Mary's only has 2 earned runs, but they're leading 6-2. Domino singled and scored, grounded to second, single knocking in 2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He's half the offense, accounting for 3 of the 6 runs. And Nelson, back-to-back strikeouts. He's got 2 in each of the innings he's been in. Tad Giardina singled for an RBI, popped to the catcher, hit it as hard as you can hit it right at the third baseman and got thrown out. So he's 1 for 3 with an RBI. On the inside corner. Quickly 2 strikes. Down and in for a ball. Arlington Catholic will have the bottom 3 in the order in the 7th inning. High for a ball. So we got Deuces Wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Giardina walks with 2 outs. On for the second time. Chris Marks walked. He walked round to the short, and he was out, and then he was safe on a throw by the third baseman that drew the first baseman off the bag. The base umpire said out. Checked with the plate umpire. He said safe, so he reached on the error. And Machano running for him scored a run. So that was another unearned run that they got. 1 of the 4 that they have. So without the unearned runs, we would be 2-2. Missing inside for a ball. Chris Marks is a DH hitting for the catcher, Kyle Doney. The other half of the Doney family is a battery. Down and in. In for a strike. 3-1 the count. And that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks extends the inning for Cam McGonigal. He's lined a single to right. Lined a single to right. In between, he hit a shot and a half right into the lap of the right fielder. So he's 2 for 3. He's hit 3 shots. Caldoni, the catcher, is going to run for Marks at first base. So Marks is hitting for him. Doney will run for Marks. One good turn deserves another. Off the catcher. So it looked like an easy start. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks and a wild pitch. Puts runners at second and third. In for a strike. 1-1 the count. Drop to the first baseman. They dropped the ball. 2 runs they're going to score. Another error. McGraw on for the 3rd time. All this with 2 outs. Nobody on. They just dropped the ball at first base. Caldoni hustling around third, scored the 2nd run. So Series got their 6-run cushion back. Sullivan's been up twice. He struck out swinging twice. Had to be thrown out at first the 2nd time. They hit for him. And De La Rosa struck out swinging in his place. Waves at that pitch. Caldoni, the catcher, is only a freshman. Hit to the backstop. Line right to the second baseman. Almost, it looked like it was taken, just as it got to him, it looked like it was taken off. But Driscoll makes the play. Dyer hit it well. 1 quick out in the 7th. Chad Harris is struck out and bounced into a fielder's choice. And bounces off Caldoni. Up and away for a ball. Swing and a miss. Way up and in. to the Arlington Catholic bench, and the count goes full. So Arlington Catholic are going to drop under 500. They're going to go to 8 and 9. Swing and a miss. Seven strikeouts for Doney. Luca Mauricio, who's now hitting for the pitcher Tyler Nelson. He was hitting for the left fielder Larkin. He got the two-run inning started for Arlington Catholic. He got hit by a pitch and scored one of the 2 runs. He grounded out short to first his other at bat. Hit foul to the screen. On the inside corner, Arlington Catholic down to their last strike. Curveball, call, third strike. What a nice finish by Doney. Strikes out the last 2. He gets 8 strikeouts. He held Arlington Catholic to 4 hits. They bunched 3 of them in the 6th inning to get their 2 runs. But St. Mary's got 6 unearned runs. Arlington Catholic was a very gracious guest. St. Mary's got a run in the first. Domeno singled. They tried to pick him off. He went to third on the attempted when it was overthrown. Giardina got a base hit. Knocked in a run. It was 1-0. They added 3 in the 4th. After 2 outs, Newhall got a base hit. Driscoll bunted. Looked like the 3rd out. They threw it all the way out in right field. Newhall came all the way around to score. Driscoll wound up at 3rd. Doney drew a walk. Velasquez drew a walk to extend the inning. It allowed Domeno to hit. He got a 2 RBI single. It made it 4-0. They added 2 in the 5th. An infield error. Single by McGonigal. A 2-run double by Newhall made it 6-0. Catholic bunched it, 3 hits in the 6th inning, scored their 2 runs to make it 6-2. St. Mary's came back after 2 outs, back-to-back walks, a wild pitch moved the runners to 2nd and 3rd, a grounder to the first baseman, flipped to the pitcher, he dropped the ball, both runners scored, 2 more unearned runs. St. Mary's had 6 of their 8 runs were unearned, but they'll take them all as they get 2 more and made it 8. And then Driscoll picked the line drive to start the 7th inning. Doney strikes out the last 2. He gets 8 strikeouts, hit a batter, didn't walk anybody. He was outstanding on the mound. He also had 3 assists, 4 assists. For St. Mary's, Velasquez drew a walk, played well at 3rd base. Domeno had 2 hits, knocked in 2, scored 1. Giardina had an RBI single. Marks had a walk, reached on error, drew a walk, and Mesano running for him scored 2 runs. McGonigal had 2 base hits, reached on an error, scored a run. Shea Newell had a walk, a single, a double, scored 1, knocked in 2. Jaden Driscoll reached on an error, scored a run. Josh Doney drew a walk. Running for him was Devin Duvall, who scored the run. Mesano scored the run for Marks, running for him both times. And St. Mary's gets the win, 8-2. They pick up their 10th win. They're officially now have earned a berth in the state tournament. Arlington Catholic was hoping to get their 9th win tonight to go over 500. Instead, they're going to drop under. They go to 8 and 9. So Arlington Catholic 8 and 9. St. Mary's 10 and 6. 6 in a row. The wins by St. Mary's. They're on a roll. They're getting it done. They're now officially in the state tournament as they win here against Arlington Catholic 8-2. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.